The NBA Summer League has always been a time for rookies to prove their place in the NBA and for young stars and veterans to either get more experience or, in a veteran's case, fight their way back onto a roster. With that in mind, though, not all players who do good in the Summer League pan out in the NBA. From first-round picks to early bloomers, numerous players have fallen out of the league quickly, even after dominating the Summer League for the season. Multiple of these players on this list even won Summer League MVP for their careers, and that's something very impressive considering future All-Star point guard Damien Lillard did that in his Summer League performance. However, today we're going to be looking at 4 players that did not pan out in the NBA, and multiple of them could be considered busts because of how well they played in their Summer League. If you guys do enjoy this content, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. I'm trying to hit 300 subscribers by the end of August, so any subscriber helps. Thank you guys for watching this, and let's go ahead and get right into the video. In 2012, the Summer League was dominated by 2 main players, one of whom I can guarantee all of you guys have heard of. Future superstar point guard Damien Lillard was dominating the Summer League, and he would eventually win the MVP. But this would be a co-MVP celebration because the other dominating player was Kansas point guard Josh Selby. Selby averaged an astounding 24 points per game, 3.2 assists per game, all while shooting 43% from the field and an amazing 64% from 3. These numbers allowed Selby to split the Summer League MVP with Damian Lillard. Despite being a second-round pick, these statistics obviously impressed the Grizzlies, who gave Selby 2 seasons to try and find a rotation spot and improve his playing with some average or above-average playing time. However, Selby managed only 38 games through 2 years on the Grizzlies, and after just averaging 2 points per game, 1 assist per game, and a little less than a half a rebound per game on very bad shooting splits, 33% from the field and 14% from 3, which is crazy when you consider how well he shot from 3 in the Summer League. Selby left the NBA and has not returned since. Since then, though, however, Selby has played overseas, and he's been relatively successful, but in the Lithuanian Basketball League, he has never attempted an NBA comeback, which is shocking considering how well he did play in the Summer League. But don't worry, this is not the first or this is not the last Summer League MVP we will see disappoint on this list. Second up, and probably the most recent case of a player dominating the Summer League but not quite getting out there when it comes to being in the NBA, and I hesitate to call him a bust just yet, and you'll hear why at the end of this segment, but we all know Kevin Knox, the 9th pick out of Kentucky. He played for the Knicks in the Summer League, and he would also play for the Knicks for about 4 seasons in his NBA career. In his first season in the Summer League, he averaged 21 points per game, 6 rebounds, and 2 assists, being the star that shined on a really low-profile Knicks roster that was devoid of really any all-star talent or young up-and-coming players. Maybe Alonzo Trier, but as we can see, he did not pan out at all in the future either. Knox did manage also another year of Summer League play where he averaged a decent 16 points per game, 5 rebounds per game, and 2.5 assists per game. Despite these 2 Summer League showings, Knox really hasn't found his mark in the NBA or even, in my opinion, cracked a rotation outside of garbage minutes. Spending 4 seasons in New York, he averaged 8 points per game, about an assist per game, and 3 rebounds per game, but his production slowly dropped off each season. Even though his first year he was averaging 12 points per game, Knox fell out of the rotation almost completely by his final season in New York, and as we all know, in 2021, he was traded from New York to Atlanta in the Cam Reddish trade, another guy who got to New York and did not get any playing time, but this allowed him to hopefully get a fresh start with the Hawks and make a bigger impact. However, he only played 17 games for the Hawks, averaging 2 points per game, 1 rebound per game, and 0.5 assists per game. Disappointing, but he is expected to receive a little more playing time next season, and I honestly believe that Kevin can make an impact as a role player at the minimum someday, whether in an Atlanta or another team. He has shown the flashes, and I just think he needs an opportunity to shine on the court. However, he still qualifies as a Summer League bust until I see actual NBA production. Next up, we have the 14th overall pick by the Golden State Warriors and LSU power forward Anthony Randolph. Randolph would actually break the record for most points scored in a Summer League game with 42 points. While he had a 7-year NBA career, his statistics never quite matched what he put up while playing in the Summer League. He did average 21 points per game, 8.5 rebounds per game, and 2 assists per game in his 3 Summer League seasons. In his final year, he averaged 27 points per game throughout the entire season. At one point, as I mentioned, he is most known for dropping a a high 42 points during the 2009 Summer League, which was his third and final Summer League season. Obviously, though, this success did allow him to get a roster spot on numerous NBA teams who thought he could come or turn into a talented role player at the minimum, and numerous teams saw promise in him and he seemed to have all the tools to become a consistent NBA player. However, Randolph did have 2 seasons where he averaged 11 points per game. He just never made a consistent impact or role on any contending teams. And after 7 seasons, he fizzled out just at age 24, where his final season was played in Denver. Playing for 4 teams across 7 seasons shows how little Randolph did to improve his game. And despite multiple teams, as mentioned, giving him a chance, he did not attempt to grow as a player or a person. He finished his career with averages of 7 points per game, 4 rebounds per game, almost 1 assist per game, is shooting 45% from the field and 24% from 3. He is known as a bust simply because he never lived up to the high expectations he gave himself during his time in the Summer League, and maybe if he didn't perform to that level, he would still be in the NBA. But as many players do when they fail the NBA, Randolph does play overseas still, and he is currently a part of the Real Madrid basketball team in the Spanish EuroLeague, which is a very high-profile place to be, especially for a guy that did not work out in the NBA. So obviously, he still plays basketball at a relatively high level, and it's worked out for him for the most part in his life, and I'm happy for a guy that can continue to chase his dream, even when the NBA kind of fizzled out and that dream failed for him. The final player on this list, as I only wanted to do 4 guys in this video to keep it relatively short and simple, we have the son of a former famous Hornet and Heat player, Glenn Rice. Despite going undrafted in 2013, Glenn Rice Jr. left Georgia Tech and was able to get a Summer League spot due to his raw but effective offensive talent, and most likely because of his last name. He eventually played 4 seasons of Summer League, with his career high being in a season of 24 points per game and 8 rebounds per game. Overall, though, he only averaged 17 points per game, 5 rebounds per game, and 2 assists per game through those 4 seasons of Summer League play. Most notably, however, in 2014, while playing on the Washington Wizards Summer League roster, Rice was named the MVP of the entire Summer League, beating out players such as Victor Oladipo, Kelly Olynyk, Jeremy Lamb, and Marcus Smart, to name a few high-profile players. However, Rice really only managed 2 NBA seasons, playing 16 games for the Wizards, where he would average 3 points per game, 1.5 rebounds per game, and 0.6 assists per game, which doesn't seem too bad for a guy that only played a few minutes every season. But when you look at his shooting splits, which was 26% from the field and 25% from 3, those abysmal splits are probably the reason Rice never got another contract offer. He did receive 2 extra Summer League sessions from the Rockets and the Magic, each, as I mentioned, his third and fourth seasons, yet he did not receive a Summer League or roster spot despite Summer League success, and he didn't even get mentioned for a 2-way contract. Just like the aforementioned Josh Selby, Rice has spent time in the Lithuanian Basketball League, where most recently he signed a contract with a team in 2020. However, it seems that he has not been re-signed or gotten another offer, and most likely at the age of 31 years old, Glenn Rice Jr. is done with professional basketball, which is disappointing me considering how great his dad was, but it's not the first time we've seen an NBA legend's son fail to make the league. Overall, these 4 players are some of the most notable NBA Summer League stars to fail in the NBA, and there are other guys that I could have included, but I did have a criteria for this. I didn't want to include people who have at least had a consistent role as a role player, or some guys that have even had starting roles in the NBA, even if they weren't as good as they were in the Summer League. There are numerous other players that could have been on this list, so if you're interested in seeing a part 2, let's try and get this video to 10 likes, and I'll definitely get that out for you guys. Thank you for all watching this video. If you do enjoy this content, please hit the subscribe button and the like button. It helps me out so much, and I'll see you guys next time.